Well, kia ora, good morning everybody, and thanks for joining us again. Very warm welcome to those that are joining for the very first time, and welcome back to those that are joining us again. It's great to have you with us. We've got a really exciting webinar for you today. The webinar will go for approximately 30 minutes, and there will be a recorded version of this also that will be sent to you along with all the resources as well. For those that I haven't met before, my name's Wayne Mitchum. I look after Brand USA for New Zealand. And thanks ever so much for your continued support for the USA. I know it's a trying time for everybody, but the feedback that I've had from the travel traders, everybody is really enjoying the webinars, hence why we've kept going with them. And the feedback's been great. So thanks so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Here's a kind of a quick run through of what you can expect today. I'm going to go through again our essential trade tools. I'm sorry for those that have heard me go through these again from our previous webinars, but we've got quite a few new people joining us today. So I'll go over those quickly, and then we'll head over and have a look at our Island Discovery series of our Insider Guide, which is our self-drive itinerary. And then I will have the honor of introducing our very special guest, because today we're going to Puerto Rico, the sun-kissed Caribbean paradise, the birthplace of Ricky Martin. And so I'll introduce Francisco very shortly. Q&A, so if you've got any questions throughout the webinar, please post these using the Q&A functionality at the bottom of your screen. Towards the end of the webinar, I will be able to answer your questions. If we don't have time, then I'll be making sure that I get back to you directly, or you can just email me with any questions you have post the webinar. Then we'll go through our upcoming webinar details. And then finally, towards the end, you could be up to win $150 worth of Visa gift cards. So the Kahoot quiz will be towards the end of the webinar. The questions will be relating to the Puerto Rico part of the webinar. So make sure that you listen up really good during the Puerto Rico webinar, because that's when lies the answers to the questions. Alrighty, so let's kick off. I'm just going to quickly go through our essential trade tools. So one that's going to be very useful going forward is the Brand USA's COVID-19 travel guidelines. These can be found on our travel trade site. Here you will find all the information around COVID guidelines across all the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the 5 territories. And there's also a raft of information around the major hotels and also the airlines. And that's not just US-based airlines, that's all airlines globally. It's a great resource. I encourage you to have a look in there and maybe even save it as a favorites on your desktop. Our travel trade website. So this is your one-stop shop for everything USA. In there you will find information around videos and images across all the states and the District of Columbia and the 5 territories. There's the itineraries, our insider guides are in there, our trip planners in there. And also, which is really quite handy, in the resources section, you'll find information for all the tourist boards across all the states and cities in there. And it will direct you directly to the trade website for that particular state or city. So if you haven't already, go in there and have a look. It's a fantastic resource for you. Our USA Discovery program, for those that haven't joined up, I encourage you to do so. It's free to join, takes less than 5 minutes. There's over 50 badges that you become specialists in. I've highlighted 2 there today, Puerto Rico. You can become a specialist within. And then also we've got a new badge which is being launched, which is St. Pete Clearwater. So I encourage you to go in there and have a look, complete those badges, become a specialist. You can actually download the actual creative of those badges, and you can add it into your itineraries. You can add it to your email signature, which indicates to your clients that you're a specialist in that particular state or city. Our Go USA TV app, this is one that is fantastic for you to download on your smartphone. It has the premier entertainment channel for the USA. There's no subscriptions, no fees. You just download it and get straight into it. There's a raft of video content on there, short format. So there's some short documentaries. There's full-length feature films on there. I Googled, I searched, sorry, in the app, I just put in Puerto Rico and it came up with some fantastic content in there. And one that was really good is if you look at the Ask a Local video, which gives you kind of a really great overview of Puerto Rico from a local's perspective. So let's go USA TV. Our USA Trip Planner, this is a fantastic tool and one that it's one of my favorites because it will make you look like a superstar in front of your clients. What it does is it creates a bespoke, customized itinerary based on the destinations that you place in there. You can add as many destinations and it will include all the must-sees and do's along the way. It can be made for fly or fly drive. It's downloadable. You can put your own branding on it, so it makes it look like you've created this amazing itinerary. You can input accommodation and flight details. If it's a road trip, it'll give you the approximate drive times between each of those destinations. It's very easy to manipulate because you can change the order as well. So that's our USA Trip Planner that can be found on our travel trade site under Plan Your Trip. Alrighty, our Facebook group. So for those that haven't joined, please come along and join us. It's a closed private group that's only for New Zealand travel trade. Here you'll find all the latest announcements about incentives and competitions. You'll also find recorded versions of these particular webinars. So in Facebook, if you just place in the search bar Brand USA Travel Trade New Zealand, you'll find it there. I encourage you to come along and join the fun. And if you could share it also with your other colleagues in your office, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And thanks to those that have joined already as well. Our insider guides. So there's over 30 insider guides or self-drive itineraries, which are found on our travel trade site. And today I'm highlighting our Island Discovery series, which includes the US Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. These are downloadable, they are fully customizable as well, and it gives you links on our travel trade site. If you go into our travel trade site, there's a link through to some amazing images and video content as well. In the future, we're looking to make these a bookable product for you. So if you haven't already, go and have a look on our travel trade site under itineraries, and you'll find this particular one there. So this actually segues me very nicely to introduce to you our very special guest today, Mr. Francisco Blanch. He's the Leisure Sales Director for Discover Puerto Rico. He's coming to us live from the territory's capital of San Juan. We've never featured Puerto Rico before in a webinar training, and it's a great honor to have Francisco joining us today. So welcome, Francisco. I will now hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wayne, and what a pleasure to be with you today from one islander to another, because we're both islands, right? So.
Exactly.
Thank you. So a warm virtual welcome to all of you joining us today. We hope you and yours are safe and in good health. In the next few minutes, we'll be sharing the many good reasons why Puerto Rico is the destination to consider in the Caribbean. Without further ado, let's talk about planning a trip to Puerto Rico. The first thing we would like to talk about are the fast facts. And for that, we will mention that it's very easy to connect through any of the US entry airports. Puerto Rico has been a US territory for over 120 years now. We came off a Spanish domination of about 400 years. In 1902, it became a United States territory. Once you fly, and we will show a slide on that, into the continental United States, then you have a domestic connection to Puerto Rico. Therefore, you will not be going through additional customs or immigration as you would have other islands in the Caribbean. English is widely spoken. Our temperatures range from 28 to 32 degrees centigrade. And actually, the best time to visit is up to you. For us, all year round is a good time to welcome you. It's an island that is full of history, culture, great culinary, a lot of entertainment, and we have some of the top rated resorts of the Caribbean. So here is where I wanted to show you. Once you fly into any of these gateways, and probably for the western seaboard of the United States, you will be landing in either Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego, maybe Dallas, and some maybe from all the way to Newark or JFK. Those are the flight times and the stops that you would probably have to make or none, depending on where you connect. And since the airline that you would be likely to fly is your flag airline, once you come to the States, your connection could be with any of these top airlines that serve Puerto Rico. We've had major infrastructure improvements after Hurricane Maria. And let me tell you that Hurricane Maria was about this month, 3 years ago. It's over. We have invested close to $1 billion from government funds to private funds to insurance money that was paid on all the response and recovery efforts to restore the island's power grid, communication infrastructure, roadways, and bridges. Also, the hotels have invested millions of dollars in renovations. It's important to mention that while most islands in the Caribbean use desalination plants for their water, our water supply does not come from any of these artificial processes. We have so much rain in Puerto Rico, we have our own reservoirs, and we treat our own water. Puerto Rico is a strong economy. Our GNP exceeds $100 billion, which is more than many Central American countries. When it comes to ecotourism, the island has an amazing natural beauty to offer, from these beautiful lush landscapes, lots of waterfalls, great opportunities to do horseback riding. We have 300 miles of coastline. With that mountain range that crosses the island from one end to the other in its very center, and it helps us with our climate. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have all of that rain and all those beautiful temperatures. So we have more than 21 quality golf courses in Puerto Rico in unique settings with breathtaking views of the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Most of the luxury resorts have these golf courses, and the Puerto Rico Open PGA Tour is held every year at the new Hyatt Grand Reserve Cocoa Beach Golf and Country Club. Puerto Rico is also great for families. They will have a great time as there are endless options for them to enjoy. Learning activities on land and sea, all kinds of water sports, tastes of local culture, amazing adventures, and it's all very safe and a lot of fun for everyone. When it comes to luxury travel, we have all kinds of experiences available. For those clients that are demanding, that are seeking lavish experiences in a tropical setting, we have award-winning 5-star hotels and resorts. We have amazing culinary experiences, great spas, and very opulent shopping. The island heart-stopping scenery, intimate accommodations, exquisite cuisine, unforgettable adventures will sweep your clients off your feet. They can spend time admiring nature, reconnecting with one another, and soaking up in the sun or dancing the night away. We are very popular as a destination for weddings and honeymoons. And when it comes to LGBTQ, Puerto Rico has earned a reputation for being fun and accepting, and it is a perfect stop for first-time visitors. There is a growing buzz for VIEQUES, Cabo Rojo, and other regions for your clients to explore. The island is also rich in festivals, traditions, art, and music, of course. Wayne mentioned Ricky Martin. We have so many famous singers and performers. The sounds of the island range from contagious dances inspired by Puerto Rico's African roots like bomba and plena to the traditional salsa that you are probably familiar with. Now, if you add to that all the amazing food options, then you've created the perfect combination. To give you an idea, we have more than 4,000 restaurants representing every type of cuisine available around the island. With an endless evolution and constant transformation, the Puerto Rican kitchen has evolved into a foodie's paradise over these many years. We combine the trendy flavors and the traditional flavors, and we've merged them into the international and local cuisine and we have pretty much reinvented all of our grandmother's recipes. We have a wide range of independent and chain hotels throughout, from beachfront settings to historic and city hotels, exuberant and luxurious tucked-away resorts. We have more than 130 hotels around the island. And all of these hotels, you can either book directly, or you can actually find them in the GDS systems, or you can choose to talk to your favorite wholesaler or receptive. The island itself is 100 miles long and 35 miles wide. We are a Commonwealth of the United States. Our currency is the US dollar. Puerto Rico is the smallest island of the Greater Antilles. So you have Cuba, Hispaniola, where Dominican Republic and Haiti are, and then Puerto Rico. And we are, of course, in the heart of the Caribbean, with the Atlantic Ocean to the north, the Caribbean Sea to the south, the Dominican Republic to the east, and the Atlantic Ocean surrounding the other side of the island. Our main airport is San Juan International. The pseudo city code is Sierra Juliet Union, and is known as Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. That's the name of the first governor that the island had in 1946. San Juan is the capital, and it has everything you may be looking for. Beaches, museums, day and night activities, restaurants, you name it. On the north of the island, which is the dark red section that you see, you will find the town of Arecibo with a unique observatory and radio telescope. And it's important to mention that this is the largest in the Western Hemisphere, and up to 2016, it was the largest in the world. The Chinese just built one larger than ours. To the west, which is the red color section, you will see amazing sunsets. It's great surfing. To the south, which is the yellow color section, you will find the dry forests and a unique coastline and history. To the east, which is the teal color, you will find El Yunque rainforest. This is the only national forest outside the continental United States. Great resorts, great golf courses, and the magnificent islands of VIEQUES and CULEBRA. In the central mountains, green colored section, no pun intended, the scenery varies from mountains to caves, from plains to canyons, valleys, rivers, and the best coffee you will find in the Caribbean. We go to the metro region, which is minutes from San Juan International Airport and consists of several unique neighborhoods. This area offers amazing restaurants, bars, shops, and showcases the urban side of Puerto Rico, where history and culture intersect with a bustling city life. The area offers award-winning accommodations from 4-star to unique, charming, and historic hotels. I would like to highlight that Old San Juan, which was founded in 1521, will be 500 years old next year. Its cobblestone streets, its squares, it's a turn-of-the-century architecture which blends with the charm of our people. La Fortaleza, which is the oldest executive mansion in continuous use in the New World, and the San Juan National Historic Site were listed by UNESCO in 1983 as part of their World Heritage Sites. It is also home to El Morro, which is highlighted in this picture, and the San Cristobal forts, as well as the cruise ports. The Condado, which is on the shore, and Miramar across the lagoon, has these hip hotels, these great restaurants, and these unique boutiques. Now, while in Puerto Rico, why wouldn't you visit one of our several rum distilleries? Would you believe that the legal age to consume alcoholic beverages in Puerto Rico is 18 years of age? In the stateside, in the continental US, is 21. You will find the famous Bacardi factory in Cataño, the Hacienda Santa Ana in Bayamón, and the Ron Barrilito. We produce 70% of all the rum consumed in the world. Now, coming up soon, a unique entertainment complex, which is called El Distrito, the district. This is going to feature zip lines, movie theaters, stadium-style venues for concerts and performances. It's going to have a variety of restaurants and shops. It has 2 major hotels. It has an amazing all-in-one dining and entertainment center for everybody. It is going to make the nightlife in Puerto Rico complete. If we go to our East region, this is known for the nature, the beaches, the golf, and the great resorts. Picture here is one of the area's main attraction, the Laguna Grande at the Same Nature Reserve, where we have one of 3 of our bioluminescent bays. There are only 7 in the world. Also, the region is home to El Yunque, which I mentioned before, is the only subtropical rainforest in the Caribbean. Its waterfalls, hiking trails, panoramic vistas will make, you know, a wonderland to nature lovers. Any of the visitors can enjoy activities ranging from simply a walk, a stroll, to extreme hikes. The waters of the east coast of Puerto Rico are great for scuba diving and deep sea fishing. They're teeming with marine life, making them ideal as well for snorkeling and just simply boat rides and kayaking, whichever pleases. So I mentioned the islands of VIEQUES and Culebra. These are 2 amazing islands on the eastern side of Puerto Rico. Whether you're coming for a day trip or making it a couple of nights stay, these 2 islands are really worth a trip. They are both world-class destinations. From the municipality of Ceiba on the east side of Puerto Rico, you can hop on a ferry boat or you can take a short flight from San Juan, it's only 20 minutes, to either island. They have the most pristine, secluded places, beaches that you will find in the Puerto Rico area. Culebra and VIEQUES are excellent destinations for water sports. You will find, according to Condé Nast, that Culebra has the most beautiful beach named Flamingo Beach, and VIEQUES has the brightest bioluminescent lagoon of the 7 in the world and the 3 that we have in Puerto Rico. It's an amazing place to visit, and if you haven't done any of the bioluminescent bays experiences, that's a bucket list thing to do. So moving along, amongst the towns of the South Shore, we find Ponce. Now, Ponce is different from San Juan in the sense that it developed architecturally in the 19th century. And there you can visit the different attractions that they have: a museum of art, they have a castle, which also features a lot of different art and other attractions as well. It's a very bright and colorful 19th century city, and one of the landmarks is the fire station, Parque de Bombas. If we go to the western region, it's the undisputed surfing capital of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean, and as you can see, it features some of the best sunsets on the island. The feel of the west side is different from all that busy feel that we find in San Juan. The towns are more laid back. It has that surfers vibe, which is not a coincidence, since surfers flock to Rincon from all over the world to ride those waves, which are iconic in the beach called Maria and the other beach called Domes. So the other town that has another bioluminescent bay is La Parguera, and it is a great town where you can stroll, and I gotta tell you, you have to try the fried fish here. It's amazing. So moving along with the history and culture rooted in agriculture, the central region produces most of the island's coffee, and it's home to the Toro Verde Adventure Park. This is really, really important. We're really proud that Toro Verde is home to the 2 longest zip lines in the world, according to Guinness, and is a unique nature park. The 2.5 kilometer zip line is called the Monster, and the 1.4 kilometer zip line is called the Beast. They also have hanging bridges. You can do hiking, and you can just simply relax if you wish. Now, while in that area, why not visit one of the many haciendas where you can do horseback riding, you can relax, and you can handpick and enjoy some of the best organically grown and roasted coffee. Moving along, we can show you this. This is Cueva Ventana, cave window. Is one of the most beautiful natural attractions, which is in the Arecibo area as well. There will be also available to visit the Taíno places where you will find the Colombian petroglyphs and the stone engravings, the hiking trails, and the very lush surroundings of the Arecibo River. That north region is also known as the Northern Karst. It's a limestone series of hills, and we call it the Karst Belt. and it's a unique landscape. It's quite amazing to visit. I mentioned already the Arecibo Observatory, that is where that radio telescope is at. So moving along, we invite you to continue exploring Puerto Rico. Visit our discoverpuertorico.com site, where you will find a lot more information on our island's culture and cuisine, a lot of things to do. You can explore the regions of the island, the places to stay, and it gives you a comprehensive island-wide business directory as well, so that you can prepare, you can plan, and then you can definitely come to us for any questions. We also have a brand new leisure guide, which is a great tool as well to learn about the variety of activities that you will be able to enjoy and discover. And also you can share that with your clients. While you're at our website, and of course you have the Brand USA training tool, we have the Travel Professional Expert tool as well, which will make you an expert in selling Puerto Rico. If you complete the general course and then follow to the master's course, you will be certified as a Puerto Rico travel expert master graduate, and you also qualify to earn a trip to Puerto Rico. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to consult, here's my contact information. You will be getting a copy of the presentation. And I have to say one more time, thank you so much for joining us today. And hopefully soon we will all be traveling again. And I'd like for you to come to my island as much as I like to come to yours. Thank you.
Well, muchas gracias, Francisco. Thank you so much for that really amazing, detailed presentation of your island. I learned so much, and I don't actually know where to start, whether to start with Flamenco Beach or the rum distilleries or the coffee haciendas, because all of those I love. And there's so much to do in your island. I had no idea of the ecotourism, which is really popular in our market. So thank you so much. And to everybody out there, we will be sending you a copy of this particular presentation. So you'll have all the information there, all the notes that Francisco talked about, because there was a lot in there. And so you'll be able to go back and retrack, and we'll have that information. If you've got any questions, team, now's a really great time to ask. Thank you for your question, Gabrielle. She's asked, when can we go? That is a really good question, and I don't have my crystal ball with me right now. But yes, it would be great to go. I would love to go to Puerto Rico in a heartbeat. It was very enticing.
The island is not closed to anyone. We have just some rules. If you go to the website, you will find the advisory. And as long as you comply and you don't have a positive diagnostic, you will be allowed to come in.
Great. Thank you. I've got a question here from Kim. Thanks, Kim, for your question. Do any cruise ships visit the island off San Juan?
We have a lot of cruises up until March, mid-March. It's not only a port of sail, it's also a port of call. And we have an amazing number of cruise ships that come to Puerto Rico or sail from Puerto Rico. We're just waiting for them to come back.
Sure. I think it was more, thanks, Francisco. I think the question was more around, like, do any of the cruise ships that visit San Juan, do they visit any of the closer islands that are part of Puerto Rico?
No, they don't touch on VIEQUES and CULEBRA. It's only San Juan. And then the town of Ponce in the south also has a few, it's a port of call and port of sail as well.
Great. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Kim, for your question. I've got another question here from Shona. Is Spanish also widely spoken there?
Yes, both English and Spanish are widely spoken.
Great. Okay. All right. Well, if you've got any more questions, team, please feel free to email me, or you'll have Francisco's email address included in the presentation when we send it out to you. I've just got one more question that's come in from Bailey. Thanks for your question, Bailey. Is it quite easy to travel between the regions? It seems as much as San Juan looks amazing, we have to see all those regions.
Yes.
So is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is actually. We have an amazing network of highways and roads. It's one of the things to do. You can rent a car with any of the major rent-a-car companies and some of the local ones. I have traveled the island myself. It's only 100 miles across and 35 wide. So everything is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from San Juan. And everywhere you go, there are small inns and paradores, which are smaller hotels, as well as so many branded hotels as well that we have throughout. So yes, it can be done. And there are several itineraries that you can follow as well.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Francisco. And thanks, Bailey, for your question. If anyone hasn't got any more questions, I will move on. But if you think of anything else post this webinar, please email me. And if I can't answer it, then I'll definitely forward it on to Francisco. All right. So details of our next webinar. So bookmark these in your calendars. So 2 weeks from today, we'll have Zachary Smith from Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority joining us. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll have a representative from the Colorado Tourism Office joining us also.